My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace, and I'm going in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, Lawrence County, to a pigsty, and given the name of a twin, Peggy and Dempsey. I married a Childers. Both twins, Peggy and Carl, they were born out of wedlock. They were killed by their mother, who would have been on death row for the murders. So I can only assume that I was flown in to the air base, Cortland Air Base, that was being built there. Joe Kennedy was ambassador to Great Britain and helped kidnap me. My Uncle George, who became the illegal George VI, joined the New World Order, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, the Illuminati, Freemasons. They're all the same. It's the one group that's the same that is the New World Order. So is Elizabeth, now a member, and Charles, and they're illegal monarchs. Now then, I'm going to go sit over here and finish this. I try to get a view that's more appeasing here. This is out, which should have been nice, but now that I want to continue this, I was over there. I want to continue. I just left a video I just did, and today's the 24th. And I'm going to say what I've put on tapes before. I usually have my dad's picture out, and George VI, my uncle that helped with my kidnapping, and Elizabeth, and I have a lot of other stuff. Let me say this, and this is what I'm going to continue on this tape, and if you want to go back and look at the other tapes, or the one I just did, is the one that would connect better with this. That's up to you. I think you could get it by the date, but I was trying to think what I'll put on it while I can hear the name. I'm just going to put it on the girl that this is associated with today, Alexis Murphy, mind control murder, okay? Now then, that's my cane over there. I'm just flipping this around. There's no need to try to put it. It's the text that I'm trying to show you that's important. The mind control murders I wrote about, I'll go ahead and say that, in 76, 77, 78. And Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, while I was doing the book, March the 6th of 78. And I lived in Marietta, Georgia, Cobb County, about 40 miles away, 45. Now then, I got a letter from the FBI, June the 23rd of 79, of national security involved, ongoing investigation. April Fool Day of 80, Lois Pearson, I'll go ahead and say her name, she helped do that to me, and my ex-husband and the doctors. They were waiting on me. They filled me full of antifreeze the night of, that would be the next day, April Fool Day, that night in the night. And when I went to the emergency room at the hospital that I would normally frequent, West Paces Ferry, they were waiting on me. You'd have to know the name of the doctor and at the emergency room, and he wasn't even supposed to be there, they told me later, after I lived through that ordeal. Now then, I could keep going on that. The tox screen was never done. It was finally done after I was illegally taken across the state line. You should all know the feeling of if you don't, and obviously most of the Americans don't give a damn. It's a joke what they've done to me, who I am, and they did it to me. Here, I'm trying to tell what was done to me and being done to their children and family, and they're laughing at me and going against me, which is quite odd, you think. But anyway, after about, what would that have been? That was on Tuesday, April Fool Day. The following, not that Wednesday, the following, after I'm across the state line illegally forced, the tox screen was done. And oddly enough, it didn't go to Alabama where it should have been. This is all full of holes. Nobody will touch it. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that I'm telling the truth. I couldn't make it up. Anyway, the tox screen was, oddly enough, sent back to Atlanta, Georgia, and done by their lab there, state lab. And it showed the antifreeze in me. And my ex-husband was the one that got it. They wouldn't let me have it. Isn't that odd? And he gave it to me. Now then, I'm going to jump to, I work for Fred Simpson, the district attorney, passed a background check. The Sheriff Patterson did it, as required. And this is before I found out about my name, and this is where, in my kidnapping, I'm Victoria II, Margaret Ann Windsor, heir to the British Crown. My father, King Edward VIII, was married to my mom, Claudia O'Keefe, of Madison, Wisconsin. And Georgia O'Keefe is my aunt. My mother was Irish American Catholic. And it's not that, it's who my father is mainly. My father couldn't be bought. He's very different from what they had to portray him as. They had to lie. They had him marrying Wallace Simpson when an imposter married her and became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. Now then, my uncle was in on my kidnapping, the illegal George VI, and Elizabeth has helped cover it up and kept it going. She's part of the New World Order that kidnapped me. The Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, Joe Kennedy. By the way, Obama, who's part of the New World Order, is over in Japan. Who do you think really bombed Japan and why? And Joe Kennedy was in on that. And now then, Obama has sent his daughter, she's lived a good life. She's over there as ambassador. And I'm here getting soaked with chemicals. Every day of my life's been hell. I don't know if my sons Mark and Scott are alive. I know their lives were hell till the last time I saw them. And that was, I saw them a couple of times after the antifreeze was put in me. They never knew the truth about any of this. So now I was going to say something else there, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back to how the murders were done, and they were done in patterns and done with mind control, which is invisible. The only way you could prove it is through doing it in patterns. And I'm just going to focus on the ones that happened after I came here to Roanoke, Virginia, and believe me, everybody around here knows it. Specifically the Virginia Tech, the April the 16th of 07, the mass killings, and it was blamed on the shooter was supposed to be the Korean student, exchange student, when in fact he's a victim of mind control. He didn't even know he was going to do it, and he ended up shooting himself because that was a command that was given to him, just like in some of the other mass. But it doesn't have to be mass. It can be one or two, like Jens Zorings was a diplomat's son from Germany, and he and Elizabeth Haysom were charged in Bedford County next door to me for the murder of Elizabeth's parents, Derek and Nancy Haysom, and they were killed out from Lynchburg, which is Bedford County. Now then, I'm going to say this again because, and this is going off. Oh, I can't. It takes too long trying to tell it. The lady here is manager where I'm at now, and go back and get the other tape. She informed me this morning, because she was told to, that her daughter, she showed me her picture, and her name is Alexis. Alexis Murphy is a black girl that was kidnapped some months ago, and the man's going on trial next month in May, and he's a mind control victim. He's going on trial for murder and kidnapping of her. So it's a name game. And I'm going to leave it at here because what they've done to me here at Affordable, I had to move back here. They soak me with chemicals and get people to do things against me that are illegal because the law either threatens them, threatens their job, They had all kinds of options. They didn't have to go after me because I'm getting whipped up on and beat up on